Why did your client want to change his plea today?
So we've been negotiating with the government for a couple of months, and ultimately what it came down to is he wanted to take responsibility for his actions.
Are you satisfied that this outcome is going to be the best for everyone involved, and what do you expect to happen from here as far as sentencing?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important for him. I think it's important for all parties to resolve this case. We feel satisfied with the plea agreement that we entered into. And moving forward, we'll have sentencing in about 3 months.
Talk a little bit about why you guys wanted to try to get him home in the meantime, or released.
Well, I mean, here's the situation. He's been charged with a federal offense, which is serious, but at the end of the day, he marked on a form and wasn't truthful on the form. And historically, what I've seen from this court and from other federal courts is that this is a type of a case that typically recommends release.
And this is something we asked the government too. Do you think that your client would be standing here today if he weren't friends with the Dayton shooter?
I think that the government made a choice to move forward with offenses, which my client readily admits to. He committed those offenses. However, I think that what you've seen historically across the country is that the United States has typically not charged these offenses independently. What I mean by that is that you will see those offenses, but they're typically associated with much more serious offenses. In this particular case, he's been charged with using marijuana while in possession of a firearm and indicating on a form that he was not a user of marijuana when in fact he was. So they made the choice and he readily went in and admitted his guilt.
The government also argued today that one of the reasons they don't want the release is because they feel that your client is still in danger. I'm guessing, based upon what you had to say in court today, you don't feel that is the case.
Exactly. I don't think he's a danger. I think that we have the benefit of federal pretrial services who prepared a report. They believe that there are conditions for his release, and we just hope that the court follows those conditions.
Anecdotally, do you know of cases where these charges are brought about, the judge chooses no jail time, perhaps just a fine, or what's the low end here that you might be hopeful for?
I mean, that's a great question. I think if you do research, you'll find that these aren't charges that are filed very often. So the question that you're asking, those examples just aren't out there. But what I would suggest to you is an offense of similar nature. For example, filing a tax return where you sign the statement which isn't true. Those folks are released pending the outcome of the case. And so we think that it's appropriate in this case as well.
When I'm reading the criminal complaint a couple weeks ago, we're seeing that those 3 items that he purchased for the shooter, completely unrelated to these charges, were included in that complaint. Why do you think they were included? Was it necessary to include that to color this case as connected to that shooting?
I mean, look, what happened in the Oregon district is tragic. And I think that, my client cooperated and he provided every bit of information that he knows. Ultimately, there's no connection. He wasn't involved in the shooting. He wasn't involved with planning it or any of it. And so what might have been in that complaint at the time the government might have felt was important. I don't know how they feel about it now. All I know is that we just entered pleas of guilty to 2 counts. Statement of facts didn't have any of that in it. And we're going to move forward.
Typically, when does Judge Rose or others decide on whether Mr. Kollie will be released in this situation before sentencing? A week or
I think that Judge Rose will make a decision pretty quickly, probably within the next 7 working days.
There's no standard?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks very much.